say no to one guy who's invincible.
Do we know when this takes place?
Before Justice League, I want to say.
And before Batman vs. Superman?
Yes.
All right.
It is confirmed, though, that we've seen that Aquaman's appeared. Not really, but he saved Superman when Superman drowned. But my whole thing is with this, I think this looks pretty cool. The guy who's directing, I forgot his name. James Wan.
Oh, I
think he's a good director, and I like that, he's had this footage now. He said he wouldn't release this trailer until he said he thought the movie was complete. So obviously the fact that he released the trailer means he thinks the movie's done, and I cannot wait to see more from it. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I also like what they did on Twitter, where if you liked their post, they messaged you like the trailer, and they messaged you stuff. It was kind of cool. I think Aquaman looks promising. I love Aquaman. He's one of my favorite superheroes, believe it or not. And I love Shazam. I really like this.
But I just want to say what I don't really like about Aquaman.
The CGI.
No, I think the look of it at times looks pretty cool. It's just, I don't know, what filter... the production uses.
It's called water?
No, stupid. Every DC film and every Marvel film, for that matter.
Every film.
All those movies have the same type of look for the most part. You get the exception, like Thor Ragnarok, the way it's shot and the way it's lit looks nothing like Spider-Man Homecoming or any of those other movies. It's just a very different looking movie. Whereas every DC movie has that same filter over their camera, and I don't really like it. It's very dark. When I think of Aquaman, I want to see really beautiful scenery in the ocean. You got some of that. It had a very Avatar type of feel to it. The costume, listen, Aquaman's a stupid character in my opinion. I don't know too much about him, but he's kind of been the butt of the joke of the comic book world. I feel like, at least in other medias, if you watch shows like Robot Chicken or Family Guy, they're always picking on Aquaman. So I get why they're putting this badass spin on him, but I don't know. I just can't get past the guy who's playing him. I think that's my main problem.
I think Jason Momoa is awesome. If you listen to him outside, in interviews, he's actually completely contrary to what you say. I'm
sure he's a cool guy. He was on Conan, I saw.
Yeah, he is an awesome guy. Jason Momoa has been doing this for a very long time, and if you just look at stuff in his past, he is a lot cooler and a lot, he is a lot different than you're making him sound. But I'm excited for. I think Jason Momoa's gonna be good. I think Amber Heard looks ridiculous with that red hair.
Yeah.
I think she looks insane. I like that they're adding Ray in there, and it's going to be a lot of really good stuff. I'm excited to see it. One fun fact, though, the guy who is going to be the Grand Warlock, or the Grand Wizard from Shazam, that is Shazam, basically, or gives the powers away, is in Aquaman as well, but not as that character. He's the king of, the fish or something like that.
That's always funny.
He's the fish man.
I mean, it's kind of like, the whole Thanos and
Cable.
Yeah, but it's different because at least those are in different universes. These are the same universe.
Not for long, maybe.
Hopefully. I don't know. I don't like Disney right now, so I don't want them to own anything.
Yeah, but whatever the case, let's move on to Shazam. I think this movie looks a lot different than I was expecting.
I love it.
I thought The Rock was going to be in this movie, but apparently they're going to make it his own Black Adam movie, so that will be something totally separate. The main bad guy, though, I love, what's his name? Oh my god, he was in the Kingsman movies. Knight? What is his name?
I don't know.
The main bad guy, you know his name. You know him if you saw him.
Oh, speaking of bad guy, though, for Aquaman, I like the way the Black Manta, is that? I don't know what the name of the villain is.
Manta Ray, I thought it was.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. He looks awesome. I think some of the trailer looked good. I'm not going to lie. I think when they were on, land and he was shooting, the red laser beam or whatever was happening, some of the action looked really good. So, it's going to come out, and I think it'll be fine. But speaking of Shazam, which we're talking about, the villain, I have a feeling that's going to be the worst part of the movie, is the villain. I think the character of Shazam...
Black Manta, yeah.
Black Manta, yeah.
Okay.
Who'd you say?
I thought it was Manta Ray. Well,
Who is that?
He's a Manta Ray. That's the fish that he is. That he's like.
Isn't that a SpongeBob villain?
Maybe. I don't know. Whatever the case, continue.
Yes, Shazam has got this very different feel to it. It's super corny. which I like. You know, you miss that with the superhero
so The
movies.
Rock is in this movie?
I don't know if it's confirmed.
They're saying on... Hold on, let me check IMDb. IMDb will know.
I think this movie has a very unique look to it. I think it's embracing its comic book roots. It's not afraid to, you know, have the outlandish costume that Captain Marvel, and now he's known as Shazam, you know, had growing up. So they're embracing the corniness of the character. Definitely check out the trailer for Shazam.
I think it looks good. I think it's, you know, it's
got a Guardians feel to it.
You know what it's like? It's like just DC is trying to be this dark, edgy superhero thing. Shazam is a breath of fresh air in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's making it's showing, hey, we're not. You don't have to be dark and gritty. I'm sure it will be good. You know, I like Zachary Levi. I think he's great. Mark Strong is the bad guy. It's this guy's British guy, bald. He's in a ton of movies.
Okay.
He's always the bad guy. He's always a good
Was
bad
he in
guy.
Green Lantern?
Yes, he was. He was in Green Lantern. But he's in a lot of great movies past that. He was in all the Kingsman movies. He was in a bunch of great movies. He's always the bad guy, though. I loved him in the Brothers Grimsby. It was really funny with him in it.
Speaking of that, have you seen Sacha Baron Cohen's new show? I only watched a 10-minute preview of it. I mean, it looks hysterical. With the Gunimals?
Yes. Instead of first graders, you be first grenaders.
Yeah, I can't wait. I know they aired a few episodes so far. It's on Showtime, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Definitely want to check it out. It's called This Is America. So, anything else on Shazam that really stands out for you?
I just like the fact that, you know, they're not what's the word? It doesn't look like they're rushing him into, like, being able to be super, like, right away. You know, they're showing
training montages.
Yes, like
it's always great.
Right, like Billy Batson's going to actually be, like, learning. He's going to actually be, you know, doing things, you know, besides, you know, just being all Shazam, bam, and now I'm like Superman, you know? Plus, I want to see where they're going to put... Because if I'm honest here, Shazam is the most overpowered superhero of all time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he could take on Superman.
He can kill Superman if he wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, him and Black Adam can destroy Superman if they wanted, which is absolutely insane. And, you know, think about it. Where is Shazam going to lack? What is going to be, what is a bad guy going to actually draw from here? I love Mark Strong. I think he'll be a good bad guy, and he's actually finally in a superhero movie, which is like a first. I think he made, you know, if you count the Kingsman movies, those are comic books.
He was in Green Lantern, we said.
Yeah, but we don't.
That doesn't.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, it's not a movie.
Yeah, what? But yeah, listen. I think, you know, for him to be an actual good superhero movie, I think he'll be good in it, but where are you going to be able to defeat Shazam? There's no way you could do it. There's almost no way to kill Shazam. The only way to do it is really with Black Adam. And unless you're going to pay The Rock to be in this movie, because The Rock is apparently Black Adam. Like, that's been confirmed for years. They've been trying to get that off the ground. So if The Rock is Black Adam, is he just going to show up for like a minute and just, like, you know, fight him?
Have a little tease at the end. I would assume he's not going to be an integral part, because if you have The Rock in the movie, it's not something you want to tease. It's something you want to put out there, in my opinion, because the guy's box office gold. He's got the number one movie in the world right now.
Yeah, and its second week it hit number one.
In the world, though. It's not. I just want to point this out. It's nowhere near number one
in the U.S.
In the U.S., it only made $10 million, but it just opened in China. And we're talking about Skyscraper, and it made $43 million in China alone. So good for The Rock.
Yeah, listen, The Rock, I think he's starting to fade in America a little bit, but as far as worldwide, he'll always be a gigantic attraction.
I don't think he's fading in America. I think, you know, the movie Skyscraper, it wasn't really marketed that well. I saw the movie this weekend, actually, and I'll get into a review of that in a little bit. But
I think it needed to be rated R.
Jumanji just came out a few months ago, and that killed it everywhere.
Yeah, I just think, honestly, I think Skyscraper should have been rated R.
Of course.
I think he should have went full John McClane in that movie.
Yeah.
If The Rock would have went full John McClane, that would have been hilarious.
But it was still a really fun movie. I want to talk about the trailer, though, in my opinion, that stole the show at San Diego Comic-Con. By the way, you're listening to Nerdvana right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Justin Greenberg. I'm joined by Joe Ritter. Yep. And we are talking about the trailers that came out during San Diego Comic-Con. And the one that really, you know, stole the show, in my opinion, was Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Really? This was the biggest thing for San Diego Comic-Con Comic-Con for you?
Definitely. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. I was not a fan of the last movie that came out because I was afraid to show Godzilla, but it looks like this movie is going to have all those legendary monsters, King Ghidorah, Mothra, and just all those monsters that you remember from the 60s and 70s that Godzilla was taking on. All with these special effects that are just glorious this day and age. And you got 11 from Stranger Things in this one, Millie Bobby Brown. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be one of the best movies of 2019. 2019 is shaping out to be one of the best years in blockbuster cinema. I don't know how well it's going to turn out, but we got Avengers 4. I believe the next Star Wars comes out in 2019. Godzilla, the next Spider-Man. It's a who's who. Toy Story 4 is also coming out in 2019.
Yep. How about this? The biggest thing for me from Comic-Con actually was a TV show.
What was it?
TV show. They are bringing back Star Wars: The Clone Wars. They heard the fans go crazy because they're getting rid of prequels and all this stuff. And Dave Filoni, who's head of the Star Wars animated, and he's been doing it since the original Clone Wars. He's always been visionary behind all of it. Has been fighting for the Clone Wars because the best episodes of the Rebels TV show was when the clones would show up, or when Ahsoka or even Darth Vader would show up, because it was all callbacks to the Clone Wars, believe it or not. When Obi-Wan showed up, people lost their minds on the internet, So to bring the Clone Wars back with the original everyone original, old school, everyone's coming back for it. I think it's going to be great, and the only thing that sucks about it, which I hate a lot, it's only be 12 episodes, one season, and that's it, I think. Because there's only so much more they can tell. They told a lot of stories in the original series, and they're going to be bridging, they're actually going to finish the bridge between the original series, the Clone Wars series, and Episode 3. They're going to finally finish it by bringing it full circle with the Siege of Mandalore, where Darth Maul actually controls Mandalore. You're going to see Ahsoka, you're going to see Rex, you're going to see Obi-Wan, you're going to see Anakin, you're going to see everybody. It's going to be great.
And I'm assuming this is going to be on the Disney streaming app?
Yep, that's where they're going to release it.
I'm sick of Star Wars, I'm not going to lie.
That's their bait to get Star Wars fans to buy this streaming service. Because everyone knows that Star Wars fans, with what's currently coming out, will not buy the streaming service. To rewatch what? The community went ballistic for Last Jedi. They hated Solo. Conan O'Brien had a great joke on his show. He was like, what's one thing you wish you could forget from Comic-Con? Or one thing you wish... it was one superpower that you could have. And he goes, erasing Solo or something from my mind. And the whole crowd went nuts for it because everyone there knows Solo sucked. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But,
I've seen worse movies than Solo. I think Solo had some, at least, redeeming factors in it. But
the guy who played Solo wasn't that bad.
He was fine. I think the acting was fine.
No, it's just the movie itself, I thought,
it was just an unnecessary film. But we've talked about that.
Yeah. But in any case, that looks good. And then the best movie trailer for me was actually Glass. The new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I didn't see the trailer. I saw the poster that was made by Alex Ross, who's my favorite artist.
The trailer looks great.
And I love those movies. I love Unbreakable, and I really like Split as well. So this is combining those franchises.
This is a really, really cool-looking movie. It's got a lot of great people. They're going to do a lot of good callbacks. I have not watched Unbreakable in a while, so I kind of forgot the story. I didn't know, Is Bruce Willis a good guy or a bad guy?
No, he's a good guy. It's Samuel L. Jackson's the bad guy.
I know he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
But this movie's all about Glass, I believe. Or it's about all three of them. But I think Glass is the focus of the movie. So now you've had a movie focused on Bruce Willis. You're going to have a movie focused on James McAvoy. And then this one's focused on Glass.
Okay.
So I think this is going to be a very interesting movie. I think it'd be pretty cool to see. I cannot wait.
Yeah, and that's also coming out in 2019, I believe, earlier in the year.
Yeah,
I can't believe 2019 is a year that's happening. We're almost in the 20s.
Yep.
The roaring 20s.
You know what's crazy, though? During the Conan O'Brien interview, when they were talking about it, Bruce Willis Samuel Jackson talked about how he got into M. Night Shyamalan's movies. And he was talking about how he was in Morocco playing poker, right, on vacation. And Bruce Willis was just finishing wrapping a movie or something. And he comes running over and he's like, hey, Sam, what's going on? And Sam was like, hey. And they start playing. He's like, hey, I'm doing this movie, and they're writing a part for you. I was going to ask you, but I just told him you're going to do it, all right? And Sam's just like, what? He goes, hold on, let me call the guy right now. So they call M. Night Shyamalan. He goes, hey, Night. Hey, it's me. I'm here with Samuel Jackson. And Night goes, oh, yeah, I'm just finishing writing up your character right now. And Samuel Jackson's like, I didn't